of all the cases that I've had, none have been as fascinating as patient number 11, Seth Lewis. He has been diagnosed with multiple personalities, schizophrenia, attention deficit disorder, and all of these happen sporadically. You have been reported as saying that Seth Lewis is the most important case in the history of the human mind. Do you still hold to that?
Oh, yes. Yes. Every day, we're learning new things about psychology, thanks to him. There's two main things that I wanted to discuss in this interview. And the first is that he imagines that he has all these wild adventures, that he's been abducted by aliens, met Santa Claus, and he truly believes he's had these experiences. Just a few weeks ago, he told us he met a talking orange. A talking orange. I think we all know that's ridiculous. There's no such thing as talking oranges. And the fact that he was able to come up with that, like, who would even think of such a thing? It's extraordinary.
And the second, just as fascinating thing, is his multiple personalities. He keeps this box with all these wigs and hats, and he'll become these characters. His brother Gorman, Apuka, Marissa Boulevard. There's around 105 in all. And he thinks that he is these people. Seth Lewis was first discovered by a psychologist from his YouTube channel, Almost Everything. He was 20 years old when he started it, seemingly too old for a mental illness to set in. Yet, as the months passed, it became clear there was something more here than just fantasy.
Well, it's funny because, he was making all these videos claiming that Daniel Radcliffe was a unicorn or that he could turn himself invisible with invisible ink. And no one ever commented questioning it. They just all accepted it as truth. And it makes you wonder, are they just as crazy as he was?
At first, his episodes were harmless. He'd believe he met dog people or that invisible ink could make him invisible. Yet eventually, he became more violent. He'd inflict self-harm on himself, doing everything from eating Carolina Reapers, taking ice baths, holding his breath underwater for a minute. Finally, the authorities intervened, and he was sent to Killjoy Asylum.
Gorman? Gorman? Seth, I know you can understand me right now. There is no Gorman. There is no Marissa Boulevard. There never was such people. I just want you to keep telling that to yourself. Gorman? Gorman? He's been like that the last week. Repeats the name Gorman and Gorman over and over. We don't know what's wrong. It's hard sometimes. You think that you're making a breakthrough, and then he's just right back to square one. I don't know.
To end off our research, we went to Edwin Douglas, the first person to ever perform an MRI scan on Seth Lewis. And what he had to show us is beyond belief.
You know the thing about the Seth Lewis case that nobody's talking about, that everybody should be talking about? I'd like you to take a look at this image, right here. What do you see? Boom. Right there. There's a part of his brain that's missing, a part of his brain that isn't where it's supposed to be. And, to top it all off, his brain is shaped like a triangle. And I know my fellow scientists say, well, a person can live without half of their brain. It's not that surprising. But a triangle? Seth Lewis, at the end of the day, shouldn't even be alive. And yet, here he is, standing right in front of us.
Will we ever be able to understand the nature of Seth Lewis's mental illness? One thing can be said for sure. These psychologists will never quit trying.
Well, of course, we're going to do everything we can to help him, if it's possible. All I can say is Seth Lewis is proof of magic. That's it.
We want to help Seth Lewis. We are going to do everything we can to help Seth Lewis.